Welcome back to the TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from manhood. You know, the rise of men going their own way. Us mid-towels, us passport bros. There's a lot of reasons, and the women here in the West is a big part of it. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
The useless human being you see in this photo falsely accused 15 men of rape. It was later proven she lied about every single one to make her ex jealous. This woman is Gemma Beale.
15 men? She destroyed 15 men's lives just to make someone jealous? This is how ruthless women are, and ruthless to what they want and what they're willing to do to get what they want. I'm not saying men aren't, but the character degradation, the lying, the attacking one's person is crazy.
2010, she cut herself with the wires hanging from a flower basket to make it look like somebody attacked her. She made up a story, went to the police, accused a random guy of raping her, and then that random guy was sent to prison. She realized she could win cases like this, and she accused 14 more men of raping her. And over the years, police spent more than 6,000 hours investigating her claims. By their estimations, it also cost them about £350,000. It took a few years, but they eventually found out that this bitch had made everything up. All because she wanted to make...
I hope these men got compensated and sue the shit out of her. 15 men going to prison for rape. That's life lost that you can't get back.
One of her exes jealous and feels somewhat important. To make matters worse, she had zero remorse for her crimes and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. And I know there's going to be some useless people who are going to comment about how much they feel bad for her. Feel bad for the innocent men she accused. They didn't do anything wrong. They're the real victims. This ogre-looking fuck should have been jailed for 100.
Is it impossible to win in family court as a man? No. From 2008 to 2012, I was falsely accused of abusing my kids. I didn't take it very seriously, and in 2012, I was falsely charged with child abuse. I went to jail. I couldn't see my kids for 5 years, and I served the full sentence of abusing my kids when I didn't. And there's actually a strange twist to this story. From 2012 to 2019, I started another relationship, and that woman supported me in court. We had 2 more kids, but in 2019, when we broke up, she told me that if I didn't do what she said, she would make false claims against me, ruin my life, use my old case against me, and put me in jail.
Oh my fucking God. Whew. Whew. I gotta process this. So you went through this false allegation, met someone else, this person knows about it and wants to bring up these false allegations to put more allegations on you if you didn't, to blackmail you. This is rough. This is rough.
Pretty evil. And she wasn't letting me see my kids for 1 month. I hired a lawyer, and if you want to see how I dominated her in court and taught thousands of men to do the same thing, watch part 2 of this video, and you won't be thinking.
MGTOW is growing because of feminism.
Yeah.
Feminists will claim that it's traditionalist rhetoric that creates this bias. But even if there's some truth to this, it still disregards how feminist-backed legislation has created major imbalance. One example is no-fault divorce, where a woman, who by far initiates most divorces, can leave a guy because she's bored, still get alimony from him, and get child support while denying him the ability to see his children.
I agree. That was a big part of no-fault divorce, being able to just leave because you're unhappy or leave for whatever reason and still being able to take half, or even leaving because you cheated and, you want to go see other men, but you still want, the funds and alimony from your husband. That shouldn't be allowed. I don't understand why that is even allowed other than to line freaking senators and judges' pockets.
Topping this off is the imputed income standard that both child support and alimony judgments are based on. Imputed income means earning potential either due to past work or level of education. So if a male engineer makes far less money today than he did 20 years ago, the imputed income standard would still be used against him. When many men can't make such payments, they essentially become debtors' prisoners. What a joke. Let's make it easier for women to leave men for whatever reasons, but yet allow them to still leech off of that same guy after they leave him. Feminism has mutated into such an extremist, supremacist ideology that men are realizing that they are in serious danger of losing their rights.
Yep.
Men are disillusioned and terrified of what's happening. They don't want to fall under the axe of losing their liberties in prison for being falsely accused of rape and sexual assault. They don't want to be coerced by the state into providing alimony. They don't want to be trapped with a baby, only to lose custody. They look at women and decide that they fail a risk-benefit analysis. Women have absolutely nothing to offer men other than sex. And with the hysteria surrounding rape, such as the Me Too movement,
I mean, especially nowadays, that's literally all women can offer is sex. That's all they think that they have to offer to get a man.
that has become too dangerous. Women have priced themselves out of the market by overplaying the victim card.
Yep.
Men realize that they are damned if they do and damned if they don't.
That we are.
They're wimps for not approaching women, and predators for asking a girl out. Weak for not defending themselves, and misogynists for defending themselves. Young men feel as if they just don't have a voice in society anymore, and they're right. Here's what a friend of mine has to say about MGTOW.
I don't hate women, but I can confidently say that I don't like women, and they can all fuck off or go away in society. My opinion as someone who is part of this group is that women complain about nothing being equal. They get all the benefits in life that men can't. Women can sell their bodies, be beautiful, and generate money and income with barely lifting a finger in this society, while men have to work their arses off. Women get the luxury of choosing whoever they want, based on looks and status, and men can't judge women by their own flaws and faults because that's sexist, quote unquote. Men are tired because they've been told by their mothers that being a great man that'll get you the woman you want is simply by being a hard-working, honest, and nice man. That's false. Women can do and say mean and shitty things to me with no consequence. They accuse men with no consequences. Nobody wants to hear our side. Men are leaving because they see there is absolutely no benefit in talking to women aside from sex. No connections and no honesty. Women love men that treat them like second-class citizens, while men that try to treat them like top citizens get shitted on.
Mm-hmm.
Women are finally getting what they put out, and I'm glad. I hardly can look at some the same when I interact with them. Everything makes me cringe. I know it's a game. I can hear how they talk about their boyfriends, or how some wives treat their men in public. I have no respect, and it's going to be hard for me to find that sympathy for women again. I went down the rabbit hole, and it's very much true the factors that go against a man. Women don't want equality. If you treat a woman better, she'll treat you like you're disposable. I have a neighbor who divorced her husband and literally plays on her phone all day and doesn't watch her kids at all. She just collects a check and works as an at-home behavioral therapist who can't even discipline her own kids. She's brought every type of guy over to fuck in front of her young kids. And this guy she divorced just has to keep putting out money. And she dumped him all because he lost his job from an injury and got pay. It's sickening. There's no such thing as a nice guy. Most men who generally are nice were taught how to be nice to women by their mothers, but have learned that it's just false.
Mm-hmm.
Being the opposite of what your mom told you women liked is how you should act. Women are just shitty in general. They can shame and belittle you, tell you to kill yourself, and they'll never have to face a day of accountability. I've never met a woman I could say I've had a positive experience with. Women judge you before they know you. The shallowest creatures on this planet. Watch how they treat homeless people. That'll give you a good vision of how they truly view people that aren't worth their time.
My prediction is that if feminism
Damn. That was a good take on this gentleman's friend. I agree with them 100%. There's probably one woman I speak to that I've gotten positive interaction with. And I tell her all the time, I don't hate women. I love women. But it's for what I know, the information that's in my head, the life that I've lived, the people I've met, it's very, very hard for me to ever have so much empathy for them. It really is. Maybe in certain moments I'd feel bad for a person just because I feel bad for people in general. But feel bad for a woman for whatever's happening to her is a lot harder than it has ever been in my life nowadays. And they just prove more and more every day I live why I should keep taking my sympathy away or just keep it locked up. And it's a sad thing. Most of men in society now feel this way, and women are in trouble. Women are definitely in trouble. I don't want this to happen. I think this is probably one of the worst things that's happening in the West. I don't think it's a bad thing that men are leaving. I don't think it's a bad thing that men are going their own way. I don't think there's a bad thing for passport bros. It shows men that we have options. But it really destroys our society that there isn't much more of an understanding between each other. And women have just made it hard for men to care about this now. They really did. We know too many people that have gotten screwed over. We know ourselves that have gotten screwed over. We've known, we watch all this content. We've seen how society really runs with women. And it's hard not to have this underlying anger slash, let's say, like disdain, I want to say, towards women, especially for most men. They're the blue pill guys, they, in the Sims, they are oblivious to it. But the men that do see everything, women are almost nothing to them now, in a sense, other than, at least women in the West. So.
Continues to be totalitarian and invasive. MGTOW will mutate into a segregationist movement out of necessity. You're already seeing the embers of this with ghosting, dropping out of society entirely, doing your best not to be noticed at all. If it gets bad enough, some of them will even affiliate with radical Islamic groups, not out of any desire for meaning or purpose, but simply because the concept of Sharia law will give them a feeling of protection from what they consider to be 50% of the generation being malevolent. Better them than us will be the mentality, because they will have totally given up on any hope for genuine equality. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like.
Oh, that was some harsh chow. Like his friend said, women, it is a tough thing to feel sorry for them. It's a tough thing to give them empathy when we see what women have done in mass. How women operate in mass. Men love women. The saying that you can't live with them, you can't live without them. Only men say this about women. But what do you hear from women? I don't need no man. All men should die. That's the difference between the two sexes right there. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.